Alright, hello and welcome. This is BoboFraggles. I'm recording a PennyDreadful League video on behalf of the Magic Online Society. So this is PennyDreadful is a really interesting format. It's a fan-made format where every card at the beginning of its rotation has to be 0.02 cents. So the maximum a deck can cost at the beginning of the format is going to be $1.50 or 1.5 tickets. So the really cool thing about this format is that it has a humongous fan following. I mean, there's thousands of people who play this format. There's tournaments 7 days a week, and coming forward soon, we're coming out with an article series on how to go from zero to FNM Hero, and PennyDreadful is the start of that. So and what that article is going to be is how to build your account from $0 with no constructed at all, $0, and build up to a legacy collection. So this is how we're going to start with PennyDreadful. But I'm going to go over my deck tech. Here I'm playing Mono White Heroic, and Mono White Heroic is one of my favorite archetypes ever. I played Blue White Heroic for while it was in Standard, and I had a blast, and when I saw this was an archetype, I got really excited. So let's start with the mana base, 17 planes. You can't get better than that. It's a solid mana base. You do have times where you don't draw lands, but that's just that's running 17 lands. Every 17 land mana base gets that. Our creatures, let's talk about them. Favorite Hoplite, just a great heroic creature. Puts +1/+1 counters every time you target it and prevents all damage. This is great in the middle of combat when you use like a Karametra's Blessing or God's Willing to give it protection, and you can really kind of like 2, 3, 4 for 1 your opponent sometimes if they try to double triple block it. Deathblade Elite, this is not a heroic creature. This is in fact just a way to get blockers to like clear the path. You provoke, move the blocker over, let your heroic creature get through. Now Phalex Leader, this card is awesome. So this card is the one that pumps your entire team every time you target it. And it's super relevant with the Cartouche of Solidarity, which we'll talk about. Cartouche, that we'll talk about in just a second. Last but not least, we have the Alcide of Life's Bounty. And this one is phenomenal, this creature is, because it serves a double purpose. 1, it's a creature that you can enchant. 2, it's a protection spell in and upon itself. Oh, and 3, it is an enchantment, which makes your ethereal armors even better sometimes. So it's just as really good. Now we're going to talk about the protection package. We have 4 Karametra's Blessing, which is, target creature gets +2/+2. If it's an enchanted creature, then it gains hexproof and indestructible. So it's the most perfect spell. It is the perfect spell for this deck. Sometimes you have to use it to force through, sometimes it's extra damage, sometimes it's a protection spell. It's very versatile. And we have God's Willing, which in Blue-White Heroic was one of the most important cards. It's a protection spell, scries 1, pretty good. Now our enchantment package, we have the Cartouche of Solidarity, which creates another 1/1 and gives it +1/+1 at first strike. This is really good with Phalex Leader because it gives you another creature that when you continue to target Phalex Leader, it pumps these creatures. Then we have Ethereal Armor, and this card is bonkers. +1/+1 for each enchantment that you control and has first strike. So in a deck like this, it's perfect. Hyena Umbra, this is so good. This one really protects your creature. So if they destroy it, you get rid of the enchantment, not the creature. And since this is a protect the queen type strategy, it's really important to have. And then Spirit Link, this card's just, lifelink. It's just a one-of. It comes in handy sometimes. Alcide also has lifelink, so you have like plenty of ways to gain life in this deck, which is good. And then I put these over here on their own because these are wonderful enchant creature spells, but they're recursive. So when they kill your creature, if you think your creature is going to die, it's important to play these ones on it first, because then later you get it back and you recoup some card advantage. So let's talk about the sideboard. The sideboard has 2 Angel's Grace. I don't really know what that's for, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's like versus like the Delver matchup, or I guess a Burn matchup or something where you're going to take lethal damage, and I guess you don't, and then actually in my league that I'm going to present to you, we didn't bring it in. Lifelink, again, just gain some life. Mask of Law and Grace. This is really good against these black-red Jund type decks that are just heavy removal. It's good. Seal Cleansing, there's a lot of artifact decks in PennyDreadful, so sometimes you have to just have some artifact removal. Fracturing Gust. This card's bad. Shouldn't have had it in the deck. We'll be cutting it for the future. I didn't realize it said destroy all artifacts and enchantments. I don't know why I thought it said destroy all artifacts and enchantments your opponents control. That was my bad. I didn't bring that in. I think I brought it in once versus a heavy artifact deck, but we'll talk about that when the match comes. Tormod's Crypt, because there is a Reanimator deck in this format. And then Spirit Mantle, which just gives your +1/+1 and has protection from creatures. This clears the way. And this was crucial in one of the matchups, and we will show. So we're going to get into it. It's going to be a recap video. We're going to recap my my matches, and let's have some fun in PennyDreadful. Alright, so this is match number 1 of the PennyDreadful League. We are playing Mono White Heroic, and let's see how this game played out. So, as you can see here, we have a Plains in the opening hand and a Deathblade. I tend to keep these hands with only 1 mana, especially when I'm on the draw. So, I kept it. And we're versus a deck called Orzhov Stacks. So, of course, we didn't get it, so I just dropped the Deathblade. They play this card, which is interesting. I have to discard a card. So, of course, I have 2 cards I can't cast, so I ditch one of them. Didn't draw a land, but what we did draw is a Karametra's Blessing, so we're just going to hit here. And this is where I provoke this creature, and I'm going to make it die. Just keep the board clean until I have a way out from this. So, Gatekeeper of Malakir. This was a bummer. This really hurt. So we had to sacrifice our creature, which was not fun. We drew a Plains, and we put the big guy onto the field. Alright, so what do they do? Alright, Smokestack. So now we're in a bit of a pickle because, you know, this was unfortunate. I accidentally, I guess, F6'd until I got to my attack phase, and luckily I had a creature on board, so I didn't just skip the whole turn. But I F6'd, and what I should have done is played the Cartouche of Solidarity first, but I didn't. So, and this is probably the best card we could have drawn versus Smokestack, because now it gives us fodder to sacrifice. So we hit them for 1, and now we're just going to start dropping things onto the field. And every single time, and then I recast my my Sentinel, because that gives us something to sacrifice. And every time I do that, it pumps my team, which is really good. So as you can see, we already have a 5/5 first strike. Like, I should have hit them for 5, like, on my last turn, but, you know, I didn't. So, alright, so they play this card, which was interesting. It's like, you know, equal to creatures in your party. Choose that player discards a card. So I had to reveal 2 cards. They made me discard the Griff Spoon because I can get under them with it. So, here I opted to sacrifice the Sentinel's Eyes. And the Sentinel's Eyes, again, is a great card to sacrifice. I drew a natural Griff Spoon, so I am happy right now. So now we have 6, we have 9, and then I go ahead and I put the Spirit Link on there. So now we are dealing 11 plus a tons of life. So they're at 13, they have to sacrifice a card. Now they play Braids. Okay, so now we're in trouble here. Again, this, like, Sentinel's Eyes was so good in this matchup. But I messed up here because I should have cast Karametra's Blessing, and, you know, just to make it a 9 power creature. But I had Smokestack on auto trigger, so it was, you know, that trigger resolved before I could do anything. That was my fault. So, you know, I make it a 9. I sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land. I sacrifice the land. I drew another land, which was strangely convenient. So what I should have done is hit Sentinel's Eyes, but I wanted to keep up protection. So we go in. They're down to 4, and we just hang tight. Oh wait. Oh, misplay. All right. So Smokestack comes in. Oh, that's right. I just wanted more things. After that combat, I decided I wanted more on the field to sacrifice the Smokestack, because we're gonna have 3 things we need to sacrifice. I honestly thought that he was gonna block with Braids, but they did not. So they sacrificed with Smokestack. Now I'm willing to give up just about anything other than this Griff Spoon. because this Griff Spoon is our way to victory here. So, oh wait, no, 2, 4. I get rid of that. I get rid of the Sentinel's Eyes. That's right, and I keep the Griff Spoon. I draw my land, and they can see that match. So that was game number 1. We'll be right back with game number 2. All right, we are here in game number 2. Mono White Heroic versus Orzhov Stacks. We are on the draw again. Again, we keep a 1-lander, but we have Sealed Cleansing for the potential smokestack. We draw a land, which is really good. We put that Deathblade into play. Now, they play that card where we have to discard cards. We discard another Phalex Leader. Probably shouldn't have done that, but, you know. So again, Cartouche of Solidarity. We draw it. It's just so good to give us some protection. We make it provoke, it blocks, it dies. Then we drop our other spell. My goal here is to get as much on the board as early on as possible. But they play Gatekeeper of Malachor, which is a really good card. We draw a Hyena Umbra, and we provoke it just to keep the board clear. So in case they play a smokestack, they have to sacrifice things too. I never put this Phalex Leader on the board early, and I think that was a mistake. That was one of the mistakes that I did make in this game. But I keep up God's willing. So draw Ethereal Armor. I'm just going all in now on these creatures. We hit for 8, keeping up a God's willing. They play a Smallpox, which was a bummer. We get rid of the Phalex Leader. We had to sacrifice a creature, which was a bummer. So we hit for 3. We didn't draw on the lands. And then they put a smokestack in. So we have to win now, right? So we ended up hitting them for 5. And then the smokestack took over the game and we lost. They played a Gatekeeper and we lost. So that was game number 2. We'll be back with game number 3. Alright, game number 3 of match number 1 of the PennyDreadful Heroic League. Alright, so we're against Orzhov Stacks here again. Alright, so this hand. I don't remember if we kept it. We kept it. Alright, that's right, because we have 2 cartouches. Okay, so again, cartouche is probably like the best card in this matchup. They play a land that comes into play tapped. Next turn, we drop a cartouche on it. And we drop a second cartouche on it, and now we are on the wide plan. Alright. So, now, okay, so they played another tap land. So, we're, like, way ahead. We play, you know, we're hitting in for 4. We played our land. We have 2 protection spells. And here we go. So, Gatekeeper of Malachor. We have plenty of stuff to sack to it. So, you know, we feel pretty good. Okay, so I drew an Ethereal Armor. An Ethereal Armor, again, plus Alcide is really good. So I'm going to attack. I'm going to provoke, killing the Gatekeeper. And now they're down to 7. We have 3 creatures on board. 2 of them are lethal. So Gatekeeper of Malachor, again, we're in super good shape. We have sack fodder. I can provoke, and I can win here. So again, we attacked with the provoke, and we won this match, 2-1. So it was a super fun game. This match was fun. Game 3, being on the play was a big deal, and they had so many tap lands. They kept a really slow hand versus our explosive start. And Cartouche of Solidarity was so good here. All right, we'll be back with match number 2 in just a second. Alright, so we are in match number 2, game number 1 of our PennyDreadful League. Let's see what happened here. So, we have a hand that's like kind of slow, but it's got our Phalex Leaders, and it's got lands. So we're gonna keep this. So they played a Savannah Lions. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm facing a creature deck. I'm gonna win. So we didn't do anything there. They played another creature that hit us for 2. So I like our chances here a lot. So I dropped the Phalex Leader. And this is where I start to go a little wide here. Okay, so I played the Phalex Leader, and then I played the Sentinel's Eyes. Okay, and this, again, I probably should have played the Cartouche to get another creature on the board. But I wanted the Vigilance, and I wanted to start hitting in. So I wanted to have a blocker on defense and begin my aggro attack. So that's why I did that. they play a Gavany Township, and then they drop their companion on the board. And now they have a 3/2. I can't really block that, so we take the damage. Okay, so Hyena Umbra. I attached the Hyena Umbra to this, making them both 4/4s. Now I put the Ethereal Armor on. Again, the Carduce should have come down at some point, but I'm figuring I'm probably going to win this game just from, I'm now 20 damage. They have to block, and I'm going to begin killing their board. So, yep, see, they chump block, double block. They have the Vigilance. They get the big guy out. Now, Alsaid of Life's Bounty. So we put that down, and now we start dropping the spells to get our creatures on the board, because now we're going to start going wide, and they conceded here because we had pretty substantial we had a pretty substantial hold on this game. So that was game number 1. We're back with game number 2. All right, we are in match number 2, game number 2 of the PennyDreadful League. So we are on the draw. We have a pretty good hand. Spirit Mantle I brought in. It's just a super strong card in this particular matchup because they have so many creatures. So they play Savannah Lion. We drop Alsaid of Life's Bounty. And my plan now kind of is to make this Alsaid make us gain a bunch of life. That's my initial thought process. So what we do is we drop another land. We drop the Phalex Leader. We hit it for 1. Exchange life totals a bit. Now, they're getting really big creatures here. So we're out of 4. So we are in a little bit of trouble. Alright, so we drop the other Phalex Leader, right? Oh, that's right. I was debating on what to do here, and I decided to not be greedy. So I decided to go ahead and drop that. My initial plan was to be super greedy and drop the Phalex Leader first, but I'm glad I didn't, because we'll see here in just a second, they play another Lord. So they still can't attack because we have this 3/3 protection from creatures. So we drew the Griff Spoon. We play another Phalex Leader. We dropped the Griff Spoon. And now we have a 5/4 protection from creatures. I do not attack again because they have so much stuff on the board. So we're kind of a little bit at a standstill here. But I draw Sentinel Eyes, which gives me Vigilance, which is exactly what I was looking for. Flying Vigilance. So now I'm winning this race, right? I have it on the background. I have life to gain. I like my spot. So another Lord here. Look at all those Lords. So I take the safe way out here. I block their big creature. I take the 11 because they're empty-handed. I know I can't die from this. And I'm looking here. Okay. Alsaid can make Alsaid. I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. All I need to do is draw something to give him something +1/+1 somewhere. So I draw a God's Willing. So this is what I do. You ready? I target God's Willing on the Phalex Leader, making my Alsaid a 5/5, so I have 13 points of damage. We give it Pro Black, put that on the bottom, and then I sacrifice the other Alsaid to make that one Pro White, and then I get through for my 13 damage. So that's match number 2 of our PennyDreadful League. We're currently 2-0 in this league. We'll be back with more. Okay, so we are in match number 3 of the PennyDreadful League with Mono White Heroic. And this hand, it's okay. A little slow, but we keep it because we have what we need. Alright, so we drop that Alsaid. I love when people play these like tap lands. And Sylvan Library can get out of control in this format, but luckily we're an aggro deck. So we kind of like take the advantage of the Sylvan Library away, just makes them put the top 3. So here I got a little conservative, and I kept up a God's Willing. They played a Prophetic Prism and a Cloud Post, so reverse is like this like Simic, Tooth and Nail, Cloud Post deck. So on end step, I just go ahead and crack this off because I'm trying to now kill them. So we get for 7. Again, I probably should have did it again, but Take them to 10, knowing now that if they use it, we're gonna, we're gonna win. And then here they play a Maul Drifter into play untapped. So I cast Scary Mentor's Blessing to make it an 8. And then what I do here is I play Sentinel's Eyes, making it a 10-11. And then I cast God's Willing, give it Pro Blue, and we won this match. So that was game number 1. We'll be back with game number 2. Alright, we are in match number 3 of the PennyDreadful League with Mono White Heroic. And here I mulligan down to 6 cards because we didn't have an infect creature. You can tell I play a lot of infect. We didn't have a heroic creature. So now we keep this up. So we get rid of a card. We have Favorite Hoplite. I feel okay, I guess. But we're gonna drop this Favorite Hoplite. We finally get our second land. We put a Sentinel's Eyes. Probably should have dropped the Phalex Leader there, but they destroy the enchantment. And we play Deathblade Elite. They play Cloud Post. We played Favorite Hoplite and Deathblade. We hit for 5. Again, I'm playing so conservative. I should have dropped that Phalex Leader, but I just didn't. I'm playing super conservative here. So they play another land. Now they play Maul Drifter and play untapped. So now we got a bit of a problem. So I put the Hyena Humber because I want to start getting through so I can provoke that because I have his first strike. Hit for 4, they're at 11. Now they play Hour of Promise and they search for 2 lands. And this is where the game starts to get out of control because then they drop Glimmer Post and they gain 4 life. So 4 life is a really big deal here. Again, I play the other Deathblade. I'm playing super conservative for some reason. I think if I had played more aggressive, we probably would have won this game. So they play Tooth and Nail here, and they got Mnemonic Wall, and now we are in deep trouble because, right, we provoke things. The Coalition Honor Guard really kind of stops us. We prevent all the combat damage. Sure. And then this is where it gets completely until they Ghostly Flicker, and they get this is an infinite combo here. Yeah, this is an infinite combo because then they get Mnemonic Wall back and they trigger the Ghostly Flicker, and then they can start beginning. They'll get this back. It's just this is an infinite combo. So I went ahead and conceded due to the infinite combo. All right, back with game number 3. All right, so we are in game number 3 of match number 3. And we are on the play now. I love being on the play. So we have 2 Deathblades and a Cartouche. That was off of mulligan. So I dropped the Deathblade. Here I don't play so conservative. I attack for 1 and I play the Phalex Leader because now we're going wide. My plan is to go wide on them. So I dropped the Acai, I dropped the Deathblade, and now we drop the Cartouche. And look at all that. We hit for 5. They evoke a Maul Drifter, so we're in good shape, and we played the Hyena Umbra, and that going wide like that. So as you can see how good Phalex Leader is, because 1 mana gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of maybe like 7 points of damage off 1. So we ended up winning this game super fast. But so now we're 3-0 in this league, and I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so now we are back for match number 4. We're 3-0 in this league, and let's see what happens. So we're on the play. Love being on the play with decks like these. We have Acai, so we have a creature, so we drop it. And Acai plus Ethereal Armor feels a lot like a heroic creature, just because it exponentially. And this is versus this weird artifact deck. They put it in the. They pay 1, put this onto the battlefield because all these border posts are PennyDreadful legal, and then they use Mirari Conjecture to make them all 5/5s and attack. It's a pretty good deck. It ramps and does all kinds of stuff. So we put the Ethereal Armor on, and again, I'm playing conservative because I'm a conservative player with decks like these. I probably shouldn't have been, but we attack. They play a Talisman. They put the other thing back into the backfield. So see, look, turn 2, they now have access to 3 mana and 4 on their turn, so you know they're ramping pretty hard here. Alright, why is this not working? Okay, cool. Ethereal Armor. Probably the best draw in the deck. So, we draw... okay, so, we attacked for 7, keeping up this mana. They are now at 10 life, so they have to do something. And I think here they're just kind of digging for an answer. You know, they go off again. We play another Plains. We put the Sentinel's Eyes on there, and we won the game. So that one was like pretty. That one was pretty straightforward. We just enchanted our Al Said and went ham. As you can see, this turned into a 10-10 quickly. So, all right, we're back with game number 2. All right, game number 2 of match number 4. All right, so here, no infect creature. We gotta ship it. Infect creature, heroic creature. Here we have a heroic creature, so we are ready to go. I keep the Phalex Leader. I had them all to 5 here. So they play their lands. We play heroic. They ramp. We play Phalex Leader, and we hit them for 1. They play Mirari Conjecture, and this is where they start to see, and they get another border post off top of their library. It's Mirari Conjecture, or sorry, the Antiquities War. That's what I meant to say. You know, this card's great, especially in this particular format. I mean, it's pretty intense. So we drew a Griff's Boon. So I put down another creature to get it going, and I put down the Cartouche because now we're going wide, and we hit for 5 here. Okay, they play another one, and then they dispatch our Phalex Leader, which like really sucks because they have 3 artifacts, so it exiles it. So that sucks. I feel like we're gonna lose it at this point. But we drew another Deathblade, so we played the Deathblade, and then I just put the Griff's Boon on, and we start praying. I hit for 6, knowing, I take them to 6, knowing that I have 2 blockers, and then Mirari Conjecture, the Antiquity War is going to go off. So I'm hoping they don't have another dispatch here, but then they don't have the mana to pay for it. So I just block 1 because I want extra blockers. I don't know why I'm playing conservative, but I play the Cartouche, and we swing in for the victory. Yep. See, so they did this. We kept up God's willing. If I had done, you know, it would have just replaced itself because +1/+1 counter, and then the protection from white would have knocked off the Cartouche. So, but even with that, 4, 5, 6, even if I just targeted the other one, we still won. So they conceded. So that was match number 4, and we're 4-0 in this league. So this deck's pretty good so far. Okay, so we are in match number 5 of our PennyDreadful League here. We're 4-0. We're feeling really good. We're trying to get to this 5-0 here. Let's see what happens. All right. So, non-keepable. Non-keepable. Not looking great to our start of 5-0ing. This hand's better. So, I ended up deciding I'm going to go super aggro, and I actually gave up my protection spells because I'm on the play. And I'm already at 5, so like, what do I have to lose? So we're getting to Cloud Post again. So I dropped the Al Said, I dropped the Cartouche, and we're off to the races. Okay. So they play another Cloud Post, which is kind of great for us. You know, we play a land, we play the Sentinel's Eyes, and then we go ham again. We're up, hitting in here for 7. So we attack for 7, takes them down to 10. I'm feeling good actually for them all to 5 at this point. Arkham's Astrolabe, you know, they're playing lots of mana. They play this Semblance Anvil, so they imprint a card onto it. It makes it cost 2 less to cast. So this is a lot of like free artifacts, like Astrolabe would be free because it costs no, but like Eager Wellspring and a few other of these artifacts will become free. So then they start playing cards. And it's not quite enough to get there. We drew an Ethereal Armor. We played the Ethereal Armor, and we got there. We got there in game 1 on a Model 5. So I feel like this particular league, we were blessed by playing aggro, and these people weren't ready for it. So All right, we're into match number 2, or sorry, game number 2 of match number 5. We'll be right back. Okay, so we are in match number 5. We're 1-0. Where this is the rubber band match to take us to our 5-0 victory in this league. If we can get there, we'll see what happens. So they are on the play. They start off with the Arkham's Astrolabe. We drop our favorite hoplite. I mean, there's nothing else we're really going to do here. So we did not draw a land, but we did play the Cartouche. Cartouche. I don't know how to pronounce that. But we get it for free. Now they're playing Cloud Posts, and they're starting to like really clog the board with stuff, which makes me nervous. So we hit in for 4. Because I drew the Phalex Leader, so now we're going to play the Phalex Leader. And next turn, they play Antiquities War. So this is sort of the same concept as the deck previously. They're going to hopefully attack us for 20 damage with their creatures. But they tapped out, which made us be ready to go. So we put our Cartouche on there. Then I put Hyena Humbra on there, and as you see how big these creatures are getting, and they conceded the game. So we went 5-0 in our first PennyDreadful league with Mono White Heroic. So I'm a big fan of this deck. I mean, obviously I am a little partial because I play these types of Sly / Protect the Queen / Thread the Needle type decks, and I'm a huge fan of them. So this deck is right up my alley, and it feels so good to play. And the PennyDreadful format is interesting because there's prizes for each event that you can play in. Like, we're going to get a prize for this. And with a free rental account from cardhoarder.com, because they are a sponsor for this event, if you play this format enough and you win enough, you can win enough tickets to begin buying cards of your own and build your own collection off of a free format. So this format is such a blessing to the MTGO community, and I highly recommend that you give it a shot. It deserves a chance to be played by a lot of people. It already has like thousands of players. Its Discord has over like 3,000 people in it. So, you know, feel free to give this format a try. It's a lot of fun. And the leagues are free, by the way. You can sign up 100% for free. You can play as many runs in a month as you want. There's a leaderboard, so each win you get gives you a point, and people who have the most points in the leaderboard win prizes. It's just such a cool experience. So I highly recommend that you give it a shot. And this is BoboFraggles signing off. I will be back with more content in the future. All right. Have a good one, guys and gals.